The ultimate football fan is now here.
All the biggest fan channels in one place.
Brexit Night's down.
100% Chelsea.
The ultimate football fan is now here.
All the biggest fan channels in one place.
Brexit Night's down.
100% Chelsea.
Arsenal Fan TV.
All about the fans.
Why is he on the fucking pitch? What for what?
Exclusive content only here.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to
The UFF Daily Football Show.
The #1 source for everything going on in the football world daily.
UFF. Do what you have to do.
Hello and welcome to FanPark Live Head to Head. I'm joined in the studio tonight by Abs and by Lewis. We're here, we're talking about two of the most iconic British players of the last 30 years for so many different reasons. We're here doing the Head to Head show in association with history. We're talking David Beckham and Gareth Bale. We want your calls, your views and your opinions. Which of the two is just the best? In your eyes, which of the two is the best, had the best career, was the best player, the most influential football player? Whatever reason you want to put forward, we want to hear from you on 0203 606 0315. Remember, this is all part of History of Football. Okay? Starting today on History, there is 24/7 football documentaries, films, debate shows just like this taking place on their channel, whether you've got Virgin, whether you've got Sky or Freeview. Check out our description below. Go and check that out. It's the most amazing 2 weeks in the run-up to the World Cup, and some great football content on there as well. Hashtag History of Football. How you feeling tonight, Lewis?
Tell you what, I'm looking forward to this.
You're looking forward to it?
Yep.
Good. And how about yourself, Abs?
I'm always ready.
You ready to go? So let everyone know, Abs, what side are you taking on this debate?
Well, I'm going to be supporting all the way David Beckham. I mean, he is a brand of himself. I mean, I'm here with you. Since you're a United support, I got to represent the UFF team.
Yeah.
You know?
And how about yourself? Well, you're on the opposite side, obviously, but
As
Gareth
a
Bale.
Chelsea fan, I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, Gareth Bale. I think, as great as David Beckham was, I do feel like Gareth Bale was a more all-rounded player compared to Beckham.
Okay, well, we'll get into that in a little bit more detail. There's a number of sections that we've got for you tonight. We've also got you some exclusive video clips from Jermaine Genius, Gianfranco Zola. They're going to be giving you some of their views and opinions as well. But we'll jump straight into it. We're going to look at the goals that these players have scored in their careers. Okay, first and foremost, Jay's going to put some of the graphics up on the screen for us. And what you will see, I want you to go to you first regarding David Beckham. And I want to know about the goals that he scored. Why do they make him stand out for you above Gareth Bale?
Well, I mean, first of all, let's all start with the main thing that everyone remembered Becks for. The free kicks. There hasn't been a player, maybe Pirlo on the same level, you know, as far as scoring a free kick and the distance shooting from a spot that was like David Beckham. There was no one like. I mean, he scored up to 100 goals as a midfielder, which is incredible stuff. He scored and assisted the most memorable goals, at least in my memory. I mean, the halfway line for United. I mean, that was something else, you know. The free kick against Greece, you know, that led England towards the qualification. I mean, what are the stats looking at in terms of?
So we look at this. So David Beckham on an international level, we're really focusing on here. 17 goals in 115 appearances, where Gareth Bale scored 26 goals in 68 appearances. Louis, when you look at that, I mean, on an international level especially, Gareth Bale. Lewis, sorry. Absolutely, we've had to change the name of our guest about 10 times today, so my head's gone. We've had to change the. You look at the way Gareth Bale was delivered on an international level compared to Beckham. Would you say it's head and shoulders in front?
I would say head and shoulders in front, mainly because you also have to look at the squads. No offence to Wales, I do feel like England have a much better squad compared to compared to Bale's Wales side, especially the England side at that point with David Beckham. My main point for Gareth Bale, and the one reason why I'll say Gareth Bale's better than David Beckham, is I feel like, as I said before, Gareth Bale is a more well-rounded player. I do feel like that's because of the way football has evolved. You now have to offer a lot more in your position. You have to have a bit more spark about you. You have to offer just a lot more. I feel like David Beckham was a great passer, a great free kick taker, but I feel like he was, from sources from what I said, because I'll be honest, David Beckham in his prime was a bit before my time. I will put that out there.
When were you born?
1998.
Oh my God. Do you know what? I feel so old. Like, Beckham had scored from the halfway line. He'd already been sent off at a World Cup by the time when you was a bubba.
Exactly. I
Wow.
into football in
Wow.
I typical Chelsea fan.
So, yeah, I mean, on that, when you think back on that point they made about Beckham maybe not having his all-round good crosser, good passer, when you remember David Beckham, did you see more from him on the pitch than just a passer and a crosser of the ball?
Absolutely. We have to remember the time when David Beckham was playing in his prime. You know, it was a different position when you're even if you're attacking midfielder. You had to do more for the team rather than just run everyone, you know, and try to overscore your whole opponents, you know. And Beckham contributed that the most. Apart from his scoring capability, he played more for the team. And Gareth Bale is a player who, like, sort of influence the younger generation of just like, I'm gonna run half of the pitch, I'm gonna destroy everyone on the way and score.
Cool.
Beckham was a bigger player than that.
Okay, so what I want, we're going to put up some more graphics for you now. We're going to look at the honours, what they've actually delivered and won within their careers. And what stands out massively when you see this is David Beckham, although you think Bale is a more superior player, Gareth Bale has won 13 trophies in total in his career, where David Beckham is sitting on 19. How does that sit within your narrative that Bale is a superior player to Beckham?
To be fair, David Beckham was in a very good Manchester United squad.
And Bale not in a very good Real Madrid squad?
In a very good Real Madrid squad now, but before he was also at a Tottenham side that was just trying to make a name for himself, trying to get into the top four. Then before that, he was also in the Southampton side. David Beckham was at Manchester United, and at Real Madrid, and at LA Galaxy, and he won a lot at all of those clubs.
Yeah,
but
don't forget PSG.
Oh yeah, and PSG.
Yeah, come on,
but you see, David Beckham was at very successful clubs. Bale's only been at one successful club, so that kind of hinders him in that respect.
Well, I mean, saying that David Beckham was in a very successful club, but he was a very successful player, and all the teams that he was, and they wanted him because he was. Real Madrid got him because he was the star of United, you know, and so on and so forth. Every club he moved, apart from LA Galaxy and that part, you know, PSG, it's sort of a step up. I wouldn't say PSG is a step up for Real Madrid, but nevertheless, they wanted him because he was David Beckham, you know.
Yeah.
What I would point out with those trophies as well is that David Beckham has won 11 versions of a league title, where Gareth Bale was sitting just on one. Now, they often say that winning a league title is the ultimate barometer to working out who the best teams are. Cup competitions, you can have a favourable run. You can come up against some, you know, I've seen many clubs get to finals of competitions having played more of the minnows as opposed to the big boys. You can get a bit of an easy run along those ways. You can get a bit of luck in a final, as an example. But there we go. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut across to a video clip from Jermaine Genus talking all about Gareth Bale.
I played in the game against Inter Milan, both games in the Champions League, where Gareth really burst onto the scene and he scored that hat-trick in the San Siro that day. And I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't. But just going back to the goals, Beckham's goals and the type of goals that he scored, I think were more special. That kind of wow factor to them. You know, Gareth, he's very physical, and he's pacey, and he's power, and he's raw, and it kind of does that to you. You kind of go, wow, that was crazy.
Thank you, Jermaine, and we're going to hear more from him regarding David Beckham in a few moments when we take on our next subject. Abro, so I want to hear from you. Why you think, we know you're supporting Beckham today, was he a better team player than Gareth Bale?
Oh, 100%, without a single doubt. I mean, if you take away, especially, I would just step back and just speak about Gareth Bale in that argument, is that his competition with Ronaldo, you know, trying to be the main star player. David Beckham, whilst being a star, was always a team player. Every person that played with him was better, you know, got the better assists. I mean, his assists alone worth everything, you know, and there hasn't been a player whoever played with him that ever criticized him for trying to be more selfish or score goals, you know. Bale is easily arguable that even Carlo Ancelotti had to defend him at one point, saying like, well, yeah, I know he scored and he should have passed to Ronaldo, you know, but he's a striker, he has to score.
So from your point of view, and I think one moment that stands out tremendously in the minds of football fans all around the world is David Beckham's performance against Greece to qualify for the World Cup. One of the most selfless performances anybody's ever given. Tell me Gareth Bale's performance like that on a team player level.
Can I be honest with you? At this point, I'm willing to concede to David Beckham on this. I do believe David Beckham is more of a team player. I think it's also like you got look. Let's give an example of the 12-13 season. Gareth Bale was practically dragging Tottenham through games at some points. And like you said as well before, Carlo Ancelotti had to come out and defend Gareth Bale on certain instances where he went for the shot when he should have passed. For this one, I will concede. I do believe David Beckham was more the team player. And I think Gareth Bale's a better individual.
There you go.
Fair enough. There we go. That was a real easy one for us. We're going to go, I think if Jay's ready, we're going to go back across to another clip now from Jermaine Genius talking all about his experiences with David Beckham.
Yeah, Beck's, I suppose, for kind of my era of footballer, he's kind of one of the first people that took it sounds crazy saying it, but took it to Hollywood to an extent. It is remarkable, it really is, in terms of, I mean, I used to sit in hotel rooms when we played for England, and you'd be trying to sleep before a game, and you hear this, Beckham, Beckham, and you'd be like, what's all this noise? You look out the window, and there'd just be thousands of people. It was like travelling with the Beatles at times.
Thank you very much again for that clip. Obviously, we want your views, your opinions on Bale or Beckham. You can also check out our live poll that is currently going on as well. I'm going to put the poll up on the screen for yourselves right now. Then we are going to take a phone call from a fan. Let's see how this is doing. We're going to go to the Ultimate Football Fan Twitter page. You can go and give that a follow if you like as well. Not a great deal of votes on it at the moment. Only 168 votes. We want you guys to retweet that. But David Beckham is currently winning with 57% of the vote from out of those 168 people. So if you retweet it, we get more votes on it. We'll get more of an overview from you there. We're going to have a call that we're going to take through right now. See what they're saying. Oh, they're coming through right now. There we go. Hopefully it's going to come through. Maybe. If you leave me now, you'll take a... Here it is. There we go. Hello and welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
How you doing?
Jay, I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me?
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Mohammed, you right?
Hello, Mohammed. I'm very good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm alright, man. No, just watching what you're saying about Beckham and Bale. I have to go with Beckham.
Why do you think it was Beckham?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on. Yeah. Jay, that's not working. Let's move on. So, we're going to now look at their World Cup performances and European Championship performances. So we're going to look at their international competitions. So, I mean, it's heavily weighed in David Beckham's favour in terms of numbers. The amount, I think 100 and... We're going to get the stats up in front of us right now, actually. If we can get the stats up for us now, please, Jay, on the screen.
Yeah, I have them also here.
Yeah, I have them here, but they were meant to come up straight away for me. And where are we going? Why have I lost them? This is what you do when you do live TV. We didn't record it like Jermaine Genius and Gianfranco Zola. Why can't I find them? There he is. There we got these things here. There we got them. There we go. I need to get these in front of me.
Oh, you got them here.
So appearances, there we go. Got them in front of me here. They're on the screen in front of me now. 20 appearances in major tournaments for David Beckham against 6 for Gareth Bale. Okay, but when you look at that, obviously Beckham has scored. He had more minutes on the pitch, you know, more crosses, more things like this. But from your point of view, when you watch David Beckham at tournaments compared to Gareth Bale, who's only had one, but went very deep into that tournament, would you say that David Beckham stands out as a better performer at those said tournaments?
I would say on par when it comes to the performer, because they both contributed to the success of their team as much as possible individually. But when it comes to being more memorable and the person who had the most impact, I would say Beckham played most at the same time the hero and the villain almost in the same year. You know, so I would still side that Beckham. I will give him the point for being the main player.
Okay. And how about yourself? I mean, Gareth Bale was massively impressive at the last Euros 2 years ago. Got his team through to, is it the semi-finals? Wales got to, which David Beckham never achieved as an international player. You know, 6.6 dribbles per game, 2.6 crosses per game. Would you say that even though he's only been to one tournament, would you argue that he's had a better international career at major tournaments than David Beckham?
I feel like simply for the fact that he's got to the semi, I hate to say it, because he got to the semis and England haven't, it's already more impressive. Yeah. Especially with the fact that the Wales side is a lot worse compared to the England sides that David Beckham was a part of. So they're obviously not going to be in the World Cup, so you got to wait till the next Euros at least before you see another glimpse of Bale and another tournament. But if you're looking at the tournaments right now, what Bale has done has been more impressive simply because some people even say he's been carrying Wales through that, him and Aaron Ramsey.
It's an interesting one when you look at the statistics, because if you look at it per game, Beckham only had tried 0.8 dribbles per game, where Gareth Bale was trying over 6. But crosses per game, Bale's at 2.6, David Beckham at 8.95. It shows the difference in the type of player. And I think before we go on to Gianfranco Zola's point, I want to put this out there from both sides, that I think Gareth Bale is playing in a very different era for wingers, where it is more about taking men on, where it is more about scoring goals, where you're this almost an inside forward when you play wide now. When David Beckham was a winger, and this is why it's sometimes important just to look beyond the stats of goals and assists, and it's more important to look at wingers during David Beckham's pomp. They stayed wide. They stayed wide. They were wingers. They were wingers first before they did anything else. And I think there has been a transformation of the game. Maybe David Beckham would be more successful now. Maybe he wouldn't be as successful. We never really know. Comparing eras can be difficult. I'm going to go through, once we see the video from Gianfranco Zola, we are going to go to some of your live comments coming through, and then we're going to give these two their last attempt at convincing me who the winner should be. So over to Gianfranco Zola.
David Beckham heard there was 1 year when Capello and Real they wanted to get rid of him, so they didn't even allow him to train with the main team. And after a month that he was training on his own, they had to put him on the first team because he was an example. The way he was leading himself, you know, he was training every day professionally, even if he was at the youth team, you know. And Capello always used it as an example.
Thank you there, misters. What a legend he is, eh? What a Zola. Just, it doesn't matter who you support. You've just got to love that guy. Well, they're Chelsea. They're Chelsea. They're going to. Absolutely. I'm going to come to yourself first, young man.
All right.
I want you, this is your last attempt to convince me that Gareth Bale is the better superstar, the better player, the better icon of football. You've got a minute to do so. What's his stand-up moment? What's the one thing we're going to remember about Gareth Bale?
2 days ago.
That's cheating. That's cheating. That's cheating.
I was so hoping he'd say that. What happened 2 days ago?
Won the Champions League against Liverpool.
But doing what?
Embarrassing Karius. And the overhead kick.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably more poignant. Absolutely. Anything else you'd like to add?
Okay, other than what happened 2 days ago, the reason why I think Gareth Bale is better than David Beckham was the point that we've been saying before. As the game's been evolving, more's asked of your wingers. And I feel like Gareth Bale has more of that spark to him than David Beckham has. I feel like he offers more. I feel like he's more well-rounded than Beckham. I feel as if he, as we said, he's more of an individual player. He can carry a team to victory. Well, I don't know so much about David Beckham, but I don't know if I'd be able to say that about him compared to Gareth Bale.
I'm going to hand over to Abs on this one. Does David Beckham win his team games? Can he carry a team forward? What's his iconic moment?
Okay. Apart from before I start with iconic moments, he was part of one of the United best teams. You know, he was considered the Galacticos. You cannot be considered the Galacticos if you're not one of the
Galacticos.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. But I mean, remember again. I'll say what I said at the beginning. The halfway goal line. You know, which was. I mean, everyone remembers that. I know you did not see it live, but on YouTube you can always check it out. I mean, his free kick against Greece. You know, that's like when you're losing 2-1. And you have to step up. The whole country lies you. You score it. Nobody believes it. Everyone goes wild. it doesn't get better than that. Unfortunately, they didn't progress further, but still, it's a more memorable moment. And this is why I would put David Beckham, not just as a player, but outside the football, he had as much as impact on the level of Michael Jordan's Muhammad Ali, that people around the world loved him, you know, cherished him, and wanted. You weren't a United fan, you would wear a Beckham shirt. Nobody does that with Gareth Bale. Nobody cares about Gareth Bale apart from Spurs and Real Madrid fans.
Well, there we go. Look, it is an interesting debate, and when I go through some of the live comments on here, Jordan Curley says, Terry, David Beckham is better than Bale because he is a great player and changed his game for the benefit of the team. There we go. Ali here says the winner versus Barcelona in the Copa del Rey dragged Spurs to Champions League qualification. It was unlucky with one. Was unlucky one with Chelsea winning. Oh yeah, with Chelsea winning the Champions League, so they didn't quite make it. No, I get that. Just sometimes people's sentences ain't so coherent. Lots of people saying Beckham wins always. Beckham no matter what. He says you're comparing a midfielder with an attacker, so obviously he's more a team player. Ronaldo ain't a team player. Is Beckham better than him? Well, that's not what we're debating. They're both. Look, I think sometimes you can never. I think if you're going to be honest. I think if you're being honest, you're in a situation whereby whenever you compare any player, even if they're both central midfield players, people find ways of saying, well, they're not the same because one defends more, one attacks more, one's a better passer. That's the debate. We're looking at two top-class, world-class wingers. They were very different in their approach. They had different attitudes to the game. They produced different moments on the football pitch. But which of the two do you think was better? That is a debate. It's a real debate. It's a good comparison. And I think they both have really good points. What we're going to do before I make my mind up is go to some of the fan videos that have been sent in to us. Are they ready, Jay? They're coming on for you right now.
Come on, bro. Gareth Wales, blood. All Beckham had was a delivery on a free kick, blood. He wasn't a footballer. He was just a free kick specialist, bro. Gareth Bale, bro. Obviously, I know he played for the Spurs and that, but yeah, man, he's got a lot more about him, fam. Trust me, bro. If injury-free, he'll score more goals.
That's easy. It's David Beckham. He basically was like the first superstar footballer. He built the timeline, I guess, for what it means to be that. He's Real Madrid, AC Milan, PSG. He's done it in loads of different leagues as well as at Manchester United. Bale's gone from Tottenham, or Southampton, Tottenham, Real Madrid, and again hasn't finished his career. I think just David Beckham had everything.
Oh, Beckham. All day long, yeah.
It's a close one. They both have similar sort of careers. And
yeah. But yeah, Beckham stands out. I mean, that goal against Greece, it just sells it for me all day long. Yeah. David Beckham, easy, without a hesitation.
Why is that?
The man's a legend. Gareth Bale, don't see the fuss over him.
Okay. You think he's a bit overhyped?
Yeah.
Hi. Who has more trophies? Bale, I think. Hi. Nah, Beckham. Beckham, because captain of England, scored some vital goals, bend it like Beckham, free kick against Greece, sticks out, stands out for me. Beckham. You are playing the big stage, you are playing the World Cup. Beckham.
But for me, I'm going to have to say David Beckham stands out for me. I think he achieved a lot more. I know Gareth Bale obviously achieved a lot at Real Madrid, but I think on a personal level, I know it's hard to judge because Gareth Bale played for Wales, and you can say Beckham had more success captaining England. But I just think Beckham was more of the leader on and off the pitch. I thought he was a fantastic role model as well. And consistency, his deliveries into the box or set pieces. For me, I think Beckham is far more consistent in that field. So although Gareth Bale's got those wonder goals in him like he scored the other night, for me it was more consistent in Beckham's game.
Easily Gareth Bale. David Beckham is one of the most overrated players of all time. Apart from crossing, the guy couldn't really play. Bale is an impact player. He's far more effective. He can score. He can do things from 40 yards, 50 yards. I just think technically what Bale can do is far more than what Beckham could do. He was really only a free kick taker and a crosser of the ball. So Bale, hands down.
It's got to be David Beckham. Yeah. You just can't not pick David Beckham for that.
I would always plug for Gareth Bale, I think.
Really? Okay. Why is that?
I think if I were a defender, I don't think I'd like to mark him. Yeah. Whereas Beckham, yeah, great passer of the ball, but no, Gareth Bale, I think it'd be a handful, no doubt about it, and he's coming good again.
Come
Come on, bruv. Gareth Wales. Bruv.
Thank you very much for everybody that sent us in a video. Remember, you can do that. We have a Dropbox link below. If you want to send in videos for any of our shows, just reach out to us, let us know, and we'll let you send them in. If they're any good, you've got to have a decent point. They've got to be coherent and make sense. We will try and get you live on the air. Right, gentlemen, I have made my mind up, but it is a tough one. I'll tell you why it's a tough one, because I would say on paper, statistically, Gareth Bale has in the modern day form of football, outshone David Beckham. He gets more goals per games. He scored spectacular goals. He beats men. For some people, especially modern day football fans, he's more exciting. However, David Beckham, for me, the ultimate team player. I have such an affinity for individuals that can make it to the highest level, play into the late 30s, play in Spain, England, Italy, France, and in America, deliver for their country, and they do it with one attribute which many would struggle without. Can you imagine Gareth Bale being as good as he is now without pace? If you took his pace away, would he be as good? That would be my question, where David Beckham was slow, yet he still managed to deliver for every club at the highest level, and he won the treble. But if I'm really going to... Gareth Bale almost gets it for me, but I am going to have to side... The main reason I'm siding with David Beckham on this... What?
No, I was going to say, don't judge your thing yet, because the polls have updated. If you refresh it, you'll see.
Oh, sorry. I'm just about to do something and someone shouted in my ear. I have no idea why he shouted in my ear. The polls... We'll go to the polls first anyway. The polls here, they refreshed? Wow. Bale is now leading the polls by 53%. That had been a massive, massive turnaround. There we go. However... I'm going to continue making my point until Jay just... Literally, I was about to give my answer and Jay's gone, no, in my ears. I was like, what's going on? I thought Armageddon was here. I'm going to go with David Beckham. My main reason is because me and him were born in the same hospital and we went to the same school. We're from the same part of East London. We both eat in the same pie and mash shop. So that's my rule. No, honestly, I'm going to go with David Beckham because I think football has changed massively since he was a right-sided midfield player. And what he brought to football, both on the pitch, off the pitch, and the iconic status that he developed for himself within the game makes him the all-round better footballer, in my opinion. That's taking nothing away from Gareth Bale. I think he is majestic, and his goal the other night just filled me with so much joy. It is unbelievable. But listen, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much, Abs. Well done on your debut on the show. We're back tomorrow night, 10:30 again, bringing you more head-to-head battles. Remember to check out History. Go check out their Twitter account. Go check out their channel. As I say, 24/7 from today for the next 14 days of debates, democracies, documentaries, and films all about football. Go check it out. It is absolutely amazing. Everybody take care. God bless, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.